Okay, after a lot of hemming and hawing and rooting around in my stash, I've decided to use these three pieces for my bear paw block. So this is going to be the outer part. This is going to be the actual claws. And then this, I'm going to fussy cut around the birds just because I like birds and I think it's going to look pretty. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut the four corners, and that will be the white or the off-white. And I'm supposed to cut this 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. So first thing I'm going to do is square it up. Okay, so I'm going to square this up. That's lined up. Okay. Flip this around this way now. And again, I said these are going to be 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. So I'm just going to cut a strip that's 1 3/4 inches wide. That's a tiny little block. And I'm actually just going to cut out a little bit of this so I can try it and see what it's going to look like. Recall that I could have done that in Electric Quilt or Electric Quilt Mini. I could have taken a either a scan of my fabric or a photo of it and imported it into there and then just seen what it was going to look like using the software. But let's see, 1 3/4. So I guess I'll cut 4 of these, enough to make one block. Now you might want to make your blocks bigger if you're going to make it into a table runner. I'm going to leave mine this size for a table runner. It's just going to be a narrow-ish one. Let's see, what will it be? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 inches wide. One more, 1 3/4. Okay, so there's the little squares. The next thing I have to do is cut 8 gray and 8 white. And these are for the half square triangles. So I'm going to save these for my other blocks. Get the white back out. 8 white that are 2 1/8 by 2 1/8. I'm just going to cut another strip, 2 1/8 by 2 1/8, 1 2 1/8. Okay, and these are going to be 2 1/8 by 2 1/8. Could be using a smaller ruler, I guess, but this will work. Okay, 2 1/8 by 2 1/8. How many did I say? Oh, I need 8. 1, 7, 8. Okay, 8 of those, and then I need 8 of the gray ones. Where is the gray? There it is. Again, this looks like it really needs to be straightened up. Again, I'm cutting 2 1/8 by 2 1/8. Okay, the last thing I have to cut, well, actually 2 more things. The 4 long ones of the white, and actually I can cut those out of this because they're supposed to be 4 3/8 by 1 3/4. Recall this was 1 3/4. So I cut this 4 3/8 and 3/8 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 8. 1. I thought I was going to be able to just kind of set this together to let you have an idea of what it'll look like, but I need to sew together the half square triangles first before I can do that. So the last thing I have to do is to fussy cut out my little birds that I want to use from this fabric. And these are supposed to measure 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. Okay, to fussy cut a bird, the first thing I do is I rough cut it. Remember when you were in kindergarten and you learned to rough cut around things bigger than what you needed. So I rough cut around that. Then I take a ruler that I've pre-marked. I'm supposed to cut these, fussy cut them at 3 1/8 inches by 3 1/8 inches. So I put this pink tape a little hair beyond 3 1/8 and a little hair beyond 3 1/8 here. So the thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to center my bird up in here as best I can. Now the thing about this ruler that I'm not crazy about is this blue kind of throws me off sometimes, and I think that's the edge, but it's not. So I have to remember, if I'm trying to make this even, that the blue part is included in it. So that looks, oh, pretty good. Let's see, I have 1, 2 below, 1, 2 above. Okay, so just gonna do this and this edge, flip it around, line up my pink here and my pink down here. And that looks weird to me, but remember, it does look weird to me. 1, 2 1/2, 1, 2 and a little bit. I think I will shift this over just a hair. Okay, like that. So I'm going to go like this and this. So since I shifted that, I am going to go back one more time now, and let's see, I think it's on this side that it needs to be trimmed off just a tiny bit. So I'm lining the pink up and the pink up and the pink, pretty much. And here we go. So there we go. There's a square that's fussy cut to 3 1/8 inch. I'll do 2 more of those and I'll be right back. Okay, all of the fabric pieces have been cut, and now I'm ready to mark these pieces for the sewing of the half square triangles. Take one little square, right side up, place the other one right side down, right on top of it. Then I'll just simply mark from diagonal to diagonal using the friction pen, one of my faves. See that mark? Yeah. Okay, then remember what I'll do is I'll sew 1/4 of an inch on this side and 1/4 of an inch on this side away from the middle line, and then I'll cut on the middle line, and that will make 2 half square triangles. I'm working on chain piecing all of the half square triangles together. This is the last one that I have to do on this side. Cut my thread, and I've chain pieced all of these together, which I like doing because that helps save time. And then I'm just going to cut them apart with this little tool that I just love. And now I'll begin chain piecing on the other side. I'm using my 1/4 inch foot, lining it up with the line, and just beginning. Okay, and I'll just finish with these and meet you back over at the table. Okay, I have all of my half square triangles sewn on both sides of the line that I had drawn, and I can take a pair of scissors and cut them in half right on that line if I'd like. I can take a rotary cutter and cut them in half that way also. Okay, I wanted to show you the iron that I'm using because several of you had asked. It's really nice, especially if you go to guild meetings, because it has a handy carrying top for it. But anyway, it's a Panasonic one, and I'll have a link to it down below. It's really nice. It's a cordless one. It has a lot of good steam. I'm going to take some of these over here now to my pressing surface and just press. And I'm going to press these, since they're small, to the darker side. Okay. So bring them, oops, I didn't cut that one yet. These two are cut. So first I'll just put them dark side up, press them to set the seam. I'm not sure if that's an old wives' tale or what, but we all say it and we all do it. Press them first to set the seam, and then just press it, open it up and press it to the dark side. Okay, this is a final version of what the block is going to look like. Recall that I'm going to make mine into a table runner, so I'm wondering if I should maybe do the first block like this. The second block, maybe fussy cut something else to go in the center. Maybe something like these leaves, and then I can use that as my inspiration for the free motioning. And then maybe the third block like this, but actually have the birds rotated. So no matter which side of the table you're sitting on, you can see some of the birds right side up. I don't know, just a thought. I'll play with it. Okay, remember, if you're enjoying this block of the week where we plan, we cut, we stitch, and we quilt together, if you're enjoying it, give it a thumbs up down below, please, and share it across the social media. Thanks a lot. Bye.